The third speaker is Fransiscus Asisi Bimo, with cooperation with Prof. Ray Guan Chang. He will talk about ORAN interoperability testing from functionality to end-to-end integration. So Fransiscus is a PhD student at National Taiwan University of Science and Project, team lead for integration and testing at OSC, OpenAirInterface Software Community.
Okay, so that's okay. Good afternoon for everyone. I think the first time I need to thanks for the Professor Florian, because he invited me to be here on behalf of my professor. And then for this opportunity, I will present something more in the storytelling, share our experience in our lab in Taiwan that's related to the interoperability testing in context of ORAN, from functionality to end-to-end integrations. So let me first give a little bit introduction about who we are. So we are a collective institutions in Taiwan, so it's far from Indonesia in that area. We are proud to be part of the ORAN community that joins ORAN software community. We open our labs, thinking us as like a playground for the ORAN community members that let them to deploy and also testing their innovations in our environments, as also learning curve for us to have answer for how does it work, how the ORAN works. And in this case there are currently 3 labs that opens under the ORAN software community. 2 are located in the US, in the Bedminster and also in San Jose, and 1 is in Taiwan in our university. And each of the labs has its own focuses. So the first one is a Bedminster labs that maintained by AT&T. The focus is more like an end-to-end test. They deploy everything from the intelligent part to the RAN. The second is for the San Jose lab. It's maintained by CMCC, China Mobile, focus on the RIG and testing. And the third one is ourselves. We focus on the audio integration and security test, but we also aim to have a duplicate the Bedminster lab to aim for the full end-to-end testing. So let me share something related to the OAI. This is the pictures from 2016. So this is I got from my professor. So my professor should be here. My professor is the second person stand on the right side, and the Professor Navid is the professor from Eurocom that stands the third from the left side. So they made some first met in this workshop in NYU in Taiwan also. And Professor Ray, my supervisor, is told me to share this little bit story. So at first they don't know each other, and then after Professor knows that Professor Navid that come from Eurocom, also presenting about the OAI. Professor Ray asking a lot of questions, which until Professor Navid seems uncomfortable, and then after that Professor Ray tried to exchange the name card, and then after that it's become our first involvement with the OAI up until now. So I think thanks also to Professor Navid, because the first met in 2016, I can represent my professor, and then flew long way through the Taiwan just to be here to present. So for the collaboration with the OAI, we make some initial engagement. The first thing is we exploring the OAI as the open source platform, basic implementation of the LTE to the NR, and also exploring the coordinator functions. We also involved with Eurocom in several projects related to the narrowband IoT projects, enhancement of the L1, L2, for the LT and NR, and also we established joint collaborations for the Open 5G Lab between 3 institutions, NTUST, NYCU, and also Eurocom in 2019. So there are learning curves that I also want to share in here. First is related to technical difficulties on integrating OAI, because as a research institution, we also found when we try to implement OAI into our environments, the differences in terms of the existing infrastructure and also hardware exists, and we cannot, as a research institution, we cannot just forget everything, but we want to try our best to expand our infrastructure to install and also deploy the OAI. But without the cooperation with the OAI team, it seems like I remember if I need to put together IKEA furniture without the instructions. So it's similar with that. So the the iteration is kind of like lost, because I don't know how to start with, or if I'm facing some issue related to debugging, how can we move forward? So we start with small, like asking questions and join their like a channel communications, and then fixing bugs, and then try to make some tiny improvements, and then up to that we try to also contribute back to the OAI community with giving, like if we fix some issue and then we try to merge back to the OAI repository. So it's this kind of, if you do this in iterative way, it kind of like its own learning process to understand the OAI open source ecosystem better. So another thing is related to involvement with the ORAN itself. We as institutions want to also leverage ORAN to see what kind of like benefits in general that ORAN can give to the greenfield testing in Taiwan, which is related to the wireless network. And we see that for the long-term plan, ORAN can give benefits and also open more research opportunity related to 5G and also beyond. So also within Taiwan itself, institution, also government in Taiwan support the initiative projects related to the ORAN, and then see if how we can do collaborative way between research institutions. At that point, we, as a researcher, we also try to initiate the idea on how we can open a testbed for our local institution in Taiwan to have a collaborative way. And this is also aligned with the ORAN motivation that testbed is critical to proving out the viability of new ideas. Another thing is within the ORAN activity itself, it's kind of like helping us in terms of the learning process, because from the research perspective, we also need to validate our use case, and then I think the industry and also institutions that involves within the ORAN Alliance, it also gives us a lot of insight on how we can align the research ideas to the actual real-world implementations. One of the ORAN's Alliance mission is to enable, to reshape the RAN industry to be more open, intelligent, more virtualized, and also fully interoperable. And with that, the effort is setting like organization structural, but I will not go through the details of the organization structural. But in this slide, I just want to point out the involvement that we have in ORAN. It's on the aspect of the activities. So in that three activities, if I may say, there are three activities within the ORAN. First is PlugFest, Open Test Integration Centers, or best known as the OTIC. It's primarily it's to assist the ORAN members to validate their ORAN solutions that mostly involve integration, involve certification and also badging. The second is the ORAN Software Community, or OAC. We try to develop a software reference for RAN that also the effort is in collaboration with Linux Foundations, and the third one is Minimum Viable Plan Committee, or MVVC, which is to set the priority use case that aligns with network operator needs. A few projects that supported by our Taiwan government, National Science and Technology Committee, or NSTC, related to open and open source projects. In here, all of the projects is involved deeply with the OAI and also OAC. First one is the communication software technology. We focus on the improvement of the individual components, such as the SMO, AIML framework, RIG apps, and also the ODU that we do testing interoperability between the OIC and OAI. And the second project is more focused on the overall general architecture interoperability between the OIC and also OAI. And we do all of these efforts for the Taiwan government in our Asia Pacific Lab since 2022. So next is related to our activities. So this is just like a topology that we try to like a showcase or what efforts that we made. The first one is if you focus on the OAC audio high, because like I said, our lab is more focusing on the improvement of audio high, which is make improvement for the MAC layer on how to enable the SASRS, etc. And from that point, we only focus on the functionality testing, which to be able to operate the ODU part, we need also stubs from the CU part and the front hole part, which is in here. We initiated with the CU stub from the OAC and also 5 stub from the OAC, which essentially is only texting fixtures that give a basic capabilities to testing the message exchange between the DU part. And then after that, we realized that to enlarge the research opportunity, we need to have more and more components that involve. So from one point that focus on the functionality in one components, we move towards the end-to-end, and at this point we have a collaboration with a few vendors and also institutions to have this kind of effort. One of the things that we established in our lab is to already have what is called the common platform within the Asia Pacific Lab. The idea is to let the individual or research institutional to deploy their solutions, which is focused on the R apps and also X apps, without the needs to deploy or the needs to start from scratch, the learning curve to deploy and also integrate the AI/ML framework, the SMO, and ERT. So these three components we try to have like a common template and then deploy in our lab to achieve that the goal. And then we also, in this effort, we ensure the compliance, even though it's not all like O1. The compliance that we can make effort is by leveraging the mostly from OAC components, and we also make sure the interoperability of RIG system thanks to VRV. That for the E2 node we already test the overall common platform. We verify also the interface for the O1 and E2 using their commercial testing for the RIG test, which is the E2 simulator. And for the involvement with OAI, we deeply involved with OAI, at least at the recent stage related to RAN development. Within the OAC, we have a PTL or project team lead for taking care of the ODU part, and they set the milestones to also put the OAI CU into the plan for our next release, which is the integration of the ODU high with CU components from OAI that connects from the via F1 interface, and then from the southbound ODU high with the OAI stacks, which consists of the L1, RF SIM, and also the UE. And then other than that, we also in ongoing enabling integrations for the OAI G0B with via VTM 500, OAICU with audio high integration, and also the last one is we partnership with Delhi University from India to make a proof of concept, what is called the XFAPI. So XFAPI in the below part is, the idea is to be a hub such kind of like a hub to let the connection through different kinds of file layer, the L1 with the L2 without the altercations on the base code of the OAC on the DU part. So we tried this one, still ongoing development, and we want to also focus for the RAM part for the configuration management to let getting some configuration and also doing updating for the configuration related to the O1 that utilize the OneNet Conf enablement. This is just showcase the end-to-end testing that we have. Okay, sure. So we have collaboration with multi vendors RU, especially because Taiwan is bastion for the RU manufacturers. One of them is the Metanoia RU, Light-On, Foxconn, and also some of the RU. And the left part is related to the OAC part, which is we put the OAI into our topology to be showcased in OAC. Lesson learned for this one is the first one is related to significant interoperability. Without the OAI, it's impossible for us to see at least how we can achieve the end-to-end, because we know that some of the components OAC lacks, so OAI can facilitate the implementation of the E2E. The second is related to innovations. The journey that we have, it's with OAI, it's enabling us to do innovation also, and the last one is related to the contributions. We encourage back to OAI encourage us back to give contributions to the open source community. So I think because of the time, thank you very much. If you have any question, maybe you can send the email to me. Thank you.